Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Alabama State Representative Susan Du Bois has told everyone, look, you want to know what a woman is? We're going to tell you. She has expressed confidence that the What is a Woman Act, which defines biological sex and related terms by genetics at birth, she says that will pass in the 2025 legislative session after narrowly missing Senate approval last year. The bill seeks to clarify the definitions of male and female and other gender-related terms in state law and administrative codes to address what she described as growing societal confusion. We're seeing this on the federal level, which once again drives all this stuff to the forefront. The Trump administration's been on top of this as well. There's only 2 genders. She highlighted the importance of codifying similar protection at the state level to ensure legal consistency here in the great state of Alabama. It's exactly what we should do, so let's get on it.
Number 6.
To meet President Trump's mass deportation goals, ICE officers have been ordered to ramp up daily arrests to 1,200 to 1,500. And apparently we're supposed to be very upset about this. Yesterday, 1,000 people were arrested in the field. Field officers are being given specific quotas, and officers facing a potential reprimand for missing targets. While officials claim operations will prioritize immigrants with criminal records, critics argue that the quotas incentivize arrests for non-criminal immigrants, heightening risk of civil rights violations and public backlash. And the administration is mobilizing personnel from other agencies to support ICE's efforts. Some are suggesting reclassifying a bunch of IRS agents as Border Patrol agents, which, by the way, sounds absolutely hilarious. And they say that this is going to undermine investigations of serious crimes like counterterrorism and human trafficking. I don't know how that happens, but boy, are they trying their best to stop this, aren't they?
Number 5.
Here's one way you don't stop that. You look at Donald Trump's approval ratings. They've gone up 6 points during the first week of his second term, a sharp contrast to his initial presidency when he began with a net negative rating. CNN's Harry Enton pointed out that Trump is the first president to achieve a higher net approval rating at the start of his second term than at any other point in his first, reflecting a significant change in public sentiment. Enton attributed this improvement to Trump's altered approach and decisive actions, which appear to align more closely with the expectations of the American people. Hilariously, he's speaking to a person on CNN who was just flabbergasted by this. I just don't believe these numbers, she says, and she's having a hard time grasping what's going on. I'm paraphrasing. That's not a direct quote, by the way. I'm not in the media. I don't lie. No, I'm in the media, but I'm not a journalist. I don't lie. So, yeah, up 6 points. Media flabbergasted by this. But, you know, they could just pay attention to what's happening.
Number 4.
After unwavering support from Alabama United States Senator Tommy Tuberville out of Auburn and a last-minute no vote from former Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell out of Kentucky, J.D. Vance cast a tie-breaking vote for Pete Hegseth, a former Fox News host who overcame a contentious confirmation process to become the Secretary of Defense, marking a major win for President Donald Trump's administration, potentially most contentious nominee. So that he was their most contentious nominee up to this point. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., maybe they find themselves in a different situation there, but they threw everything at the wall here and nothing stuck. They were unable to stop this nomination, so they will continue to try to stop all the other nominations, but looks like they're kind of running out of steam here, which is kind of amusing personally.
Number 3.
The CIA has revised its assessment to favor the theory that COVID-19 originated from a lab leak in Wuhan, joining other agencies like the FBI and the Department of Energy in this stance. Though it emphasizes, by the way, the Department of Energy figured this out before the CIA. That does not tell us a lot of great stuff. It emphasizes low confidence, and it says, though it emphasizes low confidence and a lack of new evidence, their decision has shifted on this matter, so it's a lab leak. We all knew this. The shift comes under the leadership of CIA Director John Ratcliffe, who has criticized past delays in addressing the pandemic's origins and prioritized a public evaluation of China's role Now, even though Anthony Fauci received a pardon for all activities reaching back to 2014 for his behavior and testimony on the matter, they should look at his role as well. The Wuhan Institute of Virology might have been where all of this started. What a shocker.
Number 2.
We have our first trade war of the Trump administration following Colombia's refusal to accept deportation flights. And President Gustavo Petro announced the use of the Colombian presidential plane to ensure the dignified return of its criminals. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. You want to take it back? Go right ahead. Put them on your presidential plane. I don't care. Keep it at the presidential palace. President Trump threatened 25% tariffs, then 50% tariffs next week. The president of Colombia said, yeah, we'll put some tariffs on you. And they said, okay, go right ahead and do so. You will still just bend the knee eventually. And he bent the knee. They bent the knee. Democrats can whine in unison about coffee and flowers and cocaine if they want to. They still bent the knee.
Now, time for the number one thing you'll be talking about today.
After United States Senator Katie Britt, a Republican out of Montgomery, laid out why the Air Force Academy removing videos and curriculum about the Tuskegee Airmen from an Air Force training module. She laid it out that was malicious compliance. Now, this is a term that I think is a pretty smart term, laying out exactly what happens with the deep state, where they say, okay, we'll do what you say, but they'll do it in the most unreasonable way imaginable, creating strife and problems. So the mainstream media decided, oh my God, they're removing, can you believe this? They're removing the Tuskegee Airmen. To which everyone said, no, we're not. That was not the plan. This is stupid. Well, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, responded to Katie Britt's call that this was malicious compliance by saying, yeah, we understand. Amen. We're all over it, Senator. This will not stand. And it has been reversed. So you had people at the Air Force who decided they were going to try to create problems so people in the media could scream about the Tuskegee Airmen. And then the Trump administration blew it up and said, you can't do this. This is not what we're doing here. And they stopped this. The Air Force officials, part of the deep state, that's what it is. I'm sorry. You're going to see a lot of this malicious compliance from the deep state. And we're citing compliance with President Trump's executive order banning DEI initiatives, which nobody in their right mind could even remotely explain how anyone would assume that a history lesson on the Tuskegee Airmen would be a DEI initiative. It's just stupid. These people are morons, and they should be fired from their jobs. It doesn't look like that's happening, but they should be fired. Here's what Britt tweeted. She said, I have no doubt that Secretary Hegseth will correct and get to the bottom of the malicious compliance we've seen in recent days. President Trump celebrated and honored the Tuskegee Airmen. Hegseth responded, amen, we're all over it, Senator. This will not stand, and they have reversed it. So, again, the deep state is at it again. They're trying their best to cause as many problems as they possibly can, and the best way to respond to that kind of stuff is to blow them out of the water, and that is exactly what has happened here. So, again, good weekend for the Trump administration. Again, no doubt he's up 6 points because this is the good Trump that we all need to see. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of what we've seen so far. So let's keep this momentum rolling. No question, this is exactly how he should be running his presidency the entire time. Now, if you'd like to weigh in, you can do so right now, 866-494-WVNN. That is discountpestcontrol.com, WVNN hot take text line. You can jump in right there and participate with us. You can email us.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. You can get those in as well. Get your questions in for 10 with him. We'll cover some of those a little bit later here in the program. We're monitoring your chats and elsewhere, just like we're like the NSA at this point. And we're following everything you're doing. So we'll get to some of that next, right here on the Dale Jackson Show on WVNN.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.